What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Chewing the Rag. Before we get started, just a couple quick shout outs and announcements. First and foremost, I am taking down the Halloween themed merch. So, the anime shirt, the little zombie Frankenstein version of myself, and what else is there? There's like a zombie just face. All that merch is coming down, and we're going to make some room for some new merch. So, be on the lookout for that. If you go to chewingtherag.com, you can get merch, our platform links, social media links, the email to ask questions, Discord, all that information. So chewingtherag.com will get you all of that. And while you are browsing and whatnot, you can get yourself this hat. You can get yourself good, jitter-free, clean energy. You can get shakers, whatever it is you need at w.gg and use promo code Chewin, that's CHEWIN, at checkout for 10% off your order. So wdubby.gg/Chewin, or promo code Chewin rather, at checkout, and link is in the description for the website and for Dubby. So go ahead, feel free to click that, and let's get started. So we're running late. If you are somebody who listens to this often, you see that it is not Thursday at 6 a.m. when this episode dropped. It is probably Thursday night or even Friday morning. We'll see. That was a disgusting noise in my throat. Coffee just decided to come back up. We were dealing with some illness in the house. Me, my wife, my son, all three of us literally were sick. So I didn't have a voice. I sounded like Bill Clinton all week, and it just wasn't I wasn't gonna come on here. And that's a terrible. I can't even do Bill Clinton, and I sounded just like him the other day. I almost got into it. It was gonna be George Bush. So, and then anytime I do any accent, it would have been like, I don't know how you're sexual, and then I would have got louder, and then I would have been like, might. It always goes like Australian or British, so it's probably better I didn't do that. But we're here. We got a little bit to talk about, not really anything too important. Let's just start with this, because there may be some new listeners on here because of this. So last night at about 9 p.m., I got bored, and a little bit of backstory on this. I think I just went out of focus. Whatever, it'll fix itself. Let's just hope. A little bit of backstory. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you are somebody who knows football, a Cowboys fan, whatever, you know that memes, media, everything is like tailored to this team because it's so polarizing to them, hate them, whatever. Nobody's just like, about the Cowboys. It's just not a thing. So it's a pretty polarizing team, and I'm not going to say the name of the show or anything, but I don't care about any of that. But there are people on the show, and Joy Taylor's one of them. And I was just bored last night. So I sent a message to her on Instagram as a joke, knowing, like, right now it's in her request folder. She's not going to read it. She doesn't give a shit about my little... It was on Instagram of all things. It's the podcast Instagram. It has like 29 followers. I don't really use it as much as I should. But I sent I'll post it here to the picture. But I sent it and wrote, "Hi Joy, it's Chris." First of all, that right there should tell you this is a joke, because she doesn't know who the fuck I am. For me to say, "Hi Joy, it's Chris," is hilarious. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing that only two people have brought up so far. I said, "Between me and you, just show me the DM. What happened between you and my quarterback? Was it a left on red situation? Ghosted after a couple pleasant conversations? What is it? What did or didn't Dak do to you?" Just a joke. And I sent it, took a screenshot of it, posted on Twitter. No, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. The app formerly known as Twitter. So I posted on there just because I figured we get a couple laughs just within my circle. I follow a bunch of Cowboys fans. Cowboys fans follow me. It's really all I use X and Twitter for, is to just talk shit, talk sports. I don't really use it for anything else. It's just Facebook talking sports is awful. Instagram, you don't really talk sports on. So that's what I use my Twitter for. I did that, and my guy Trip was like, "This one's about to take off." And I was like, of all the dumb shit I said and put on here, like, I just didn't believe. I was like, of all the dumb shit I put on here, LMAO. And then I woke up today to 229,000 views and just a whole bunch of nonsense. And most of it's funny. It's people just like agreeing, like, this, that, and the third. And then there's the people who take it serious. They're like, "Yo, she's not going to see that." And it's like, no shit. My favorite part is like, you're a misogynist, you're a sexist. That's why you're saying it. And it's like, you guys just don't know me because this is shit I just do regularly. I don't. It's just a boredom thing. I don't look at it as a male or female. I can. It got me thinking about like other celebrities that I've done this to. Back in like 2017, I would message Soldier Boy all the time. I don't know why. One day I messaged him. It was noon. I said, "Let me hold $1." June 15th, 2017. I said, and it was 12:20. It says, "Let me hold $1." June 15th, 2017. 22 minutes later, I sent a video of a close-up with just this part of my mouth where my hands are. If you're on YouTube, just this part of my mouth, and it just said "boys kissing boys, boys kissing boys, boys kissing boys" for like seconds straight. Right after that, I sent him a side view picture of me brushing my teeth. Again, this is for YouTube, like this, and I was flexing, and I just wrote absolutely fucking jacked. Literally 12 days later, I said, "This isn't over. This isn't over, boy soldier." So stupid. And then I said, Killing Floor 2 is free on PlayStation 4. Or Killing Floor 2 is free on PlayStation 4. Download it and let's stack some Zeds, brother. And then I just started quoting Key. Like, this is a whole thing. It goes all the way from June to October. It's just nonsense messages. I should post all these. They're pretty funny. But yeah, it's just like for somebody to be like, "Oh, that's sexist, that's misogynistic for you to do that." It's like, no, I just think it's funny. That's all it is. Like, male, female, you're gonna get these jokes. If I think it's funny, I think it's funny. I didn't expect it to go out of my little circle. People are like, "Oh, you're doing it for clout." I didn't want clout. Anybody who actually knows me from like this podcast or just friends who know me who are listening to this right now, they'll tell you like all I care about or all I really like ever want to do is just make people laugh. So like that was my goal right there, was to just get a couple giggles and that's it. I didn't expect to wake up and have this whole like thing go on. But I figured I would address that first right off the rip, because there's probably people here now from that's like I don't know. I just didn't expect it. It's funny. It's hilarious. People are mad. The people that are mad are the funniest because it's like, "Oh, you guys are harassing somebody said you're harassing females. This fan base is crazy." Like, bro, she's not gonna see. I'm like, you're a Joy Taylor fucking. What's up, Ollie? You're just a Joy Taylor burner like that. There's no way you're a real person who thinks, yeah, you know what? This guy's serious. That's fucking insane to me. I went and saw my boy Dan. We got our dragon. You see these lines right here? These are all new. All the black outline. He just was kind of blending into the clouds a little bit. So got some outlines done. The arm's done. Got the elbow. It goes all the way up now. You got the armpit's a little blank, but we'll put like a mask or something there. We're going to do my belly after the holidays because I got a lot of stuff to pay and make sure my money's right. That's going to be an expensive piece. But next up is the whole frontal area. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanksgiving. I don't think we covered Thanksgiving, right? The last episode came out on Thanksgiving. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Everything good? We had a pretty quiet one. Just took a couple days off. We had a extra day, you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off because I get weekends off anyway. And then we felt fine. I think my son started to feel sick over the weekend, or maybe just before, like maybe it was that Friday, something. And that's when it hit us. And then I got a couple extra days off that I didn't really plan for. But Thanksgiving for us is pretty low key. Being a Dallas fan, there's always a Dallas game on. So wherever I am, which is probably with my in-laws, that'll be on. We just do something there, hang out, really small thing. I think I talked about this actually. I don't really go see anybody on my side of the family. I might shoot a couple texts, say like, "Hey, how did you guys do anything for Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving." That's about it. It's where it starts and ends. Just don't have any need for it. It's not for me. Plus, like, my aunt always does a thing, and it's always like way too big. Like, dude, I'm just trying to watch. You're Cowboys fans. Like, I'm just trying to watch the fucking game. I don't want to. I'm not a hype guy. I'm not trying to get hype with you guys. I'm just gonna watch it, do my thing, and go the fuck home. But you guys, you got a loud ass house with a bunch of fucking people. I'm not trying to do it. Let me just watch my game. My in-laws, it's like 12 of us at the most, and it's a football house, so we're chilling. We're good. I'm fucking. That's what I'm thankful for. I could just kind of have an easy going fucking holiday. The whole like thing with holidays. Just the fucking, I was trying to think of the word, I couldn't think of it. But like just the mumbo jumbo, the build up, all the stuff to the holidays, and then like you get there. We were talking about this with Christmas with my buddy, and he's like, the build up to Christmas is much better than Christmas. I feel like same thing with Halloween. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, because literally, what is it? Hustle and bustle. That's the words I was looking for. All the hustle and bustle. We got the tree up. We got, we got all the fall decorations. You put up your fucking Merry and Bright pillow. I guess that's right there. I didn't know it was behind me. You put up your decorations. You got the mantle decorated, and then Christmas comes. My son opens shit up. 2 days later, the tree's down, wrapping paper's cleaned up, and he's just playing with fucking toys. Like, he's right in the sense that like the getting hyped for holidays. Halloween's a little bit different because one, I don't like Christmas movies. Two, I don't like Christmas music. I don't mind, like, Christmas trees cool. Christmas decorations are cool. I'll go see some like lights somewhere, whatever. That's cool. But like Halloween, it's cool to see people's costumes. It's cool to see like kids dressed up. We don't get them here, but trick or treaters are cool. I like trick or treaters. The idea of just like getting candy, I guess, as a kid was cool, but now it's not really a thing that we do. And then I like Halloween movies. I like horror movies. I'll watch a movie now over like a Home Alone or like a fucking Christmas Vacation or something. I really don't like. I'm trying to think. Elf. I'll watch Elf. Growing up, my mom always liked to watch the Charlie Brown stuff and like the Rudolph, like the old school Rudolph, old school Frosty. Like those are cool, I guess. But like I don't need to watch fucking those Hallmark movies. I don't need to watch Dashing Through the Snow or whatever the fuck with fucking just I don't know. I don't do any of that shit. So I'll do a couple of the animated things. I'll do Elf, and that's about it. Deck the Halls, right? What is that? Like I don't see Christmas movies that don't want to be Christmas movies too. It's like this is just rom-com. It just happens to be around Christmas. Fuck off. That's the Hallmark shit I'm talking about. A Bad Santa. I'll watch a Bad Santa, but that's just comedy. Like I'm cool with that. But I don't know. That's it. Like we didn't really do much, and we went and saw. I took my son to see the Holiday Train. That's the thing that we do. I've talked about that ad nauseum. He's big on trains. So right where we live, literally like 2 minutes away, the tracks pass right through, and it's the Canadian, right? Canadian Pacific, I think it is, something like that. My son fucking, it's actually, all right, I get it, dude. But it goes from Maine down through here, and then I think it loops up back into Canada or some shit like that. So, but I went and went and saw that. That's when like I knew he really wasn't feeling good. So that was, yeah, okay, that's what it was. So Black Friday is when that comes in. I don't do any Black Friday shopping or anything. I'll just like go online and I'll take advantage of whatever deals I feel like taking advantage of. But it was at the Holiday Train. He was like, he didn't want to leave our side. He just wanted to go see like, so we were at the back of it, and the side comes down of like the shipping container. The side flaps down, and inside is like a man playing music and a woman singing, blah, blah, blah. He didn't want any of that. He just wanted to go see the engine and then go home. Like, so he wanted to walk to the front, see it, and then dip. And I was like, okay. That's when I was like, he's not feeling good. Because that dude, he would want to see the train. He would want to watch it. He would want to see it like drive along the tracks. That's what we did the year before last year. That's what we did last year, rather. And when he didn't want to do that, I was like, okay, good. You're sick. Let's get you home. We brought fucking my Australian Shepherd, who's like fucking 12 years old. He's just like fucking dying. I was like, yeah, we took the wrong dog. We should have took this fucking psycho over here, but he would have bit somebody. Oh, hi. Come here. Up. Here, little pit bull mix. We feed him toddlers. All right, you can go back to bed. Yeah, tell me to go fuck myself. But he wanted to bring him originally. He has like a collar with bells on it. He's not wearing it right now, but and I was like, no, we can't do that. I was joking. We could bring the other dog. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, fuck. So you got to load this elder and just lay down, dude. We had to load this elder into the fucking SUV, and then that's a nightmare. And he's trying to walk and he's dying. So that was probably his last car ride ever. So that's pretty depressing, but it is what it is. I wanted to talk to you guys about Spotify Wrapped. That's a big thing right now. It's pretty cool to see. It's just like a shout out to you guys that do listen, and a lot of my listeners and YouTube Shorts and whatnot. Like all my shit goes through YouTube. Like YouTube Shorts gets a lot of views, TikTok gets a lot of views. All the shit with no attention span. But it was pretty cool to see where this little solo, inconsistent fucking pod went over the years. So I'll just go over some stats with you boys and girls. I'm sure there's like two of you, my wife, and then some random straggler from fucking Suriname or fucking the Ukraine or something. Let me see what we got. My top episode was, and this one doesn't surprise me, Chewing the Rag with Mike Valenti. So this is only Spotify because I actually think my top was on YouTube, and I think it was my boy Ebsoki. So, but on Spotify, this is the one that I thought would do the most, and it definitely did. Mike Valenti. We talked a lot of shit. Go check that one out. That's a lot of fun. That's a guy I have a lot of respect for. And that was whatever. I don't care about that really. I mean, I do. It was cool, but I don't care about this. This is what I was talking about going global. Don't care about that. I don't care. Let's go over this, and it's just a bunch of shit I don't care about. I should have like skipped to the part that was actually interesting. It's like I don't understand why somebody who's like hosting this thing, cares that most of my listeners listen to pop. It's like I don't give a fuck. That just doesn't really do anything for me. The thing that I found interesting, podcast rating 5.0, it probably has like 2 ratings. That's fine. Dude, my throat is just like not holding this coffee down. But in regards to podcasts, this just makes me feel like the people that listen to me listen for me and not because I like podcasts, which is fine. I appreciate you guys. But there was 23 fans, as in not like, 23 listeners where I was a top 10 podcast with them. That was really cool to see. Top 5 for 16. And then I was in the top, I was a number 1 for 7 people. And it's like, you 7 people, there's no way listen to anything else but me. Like, you guys don't have any other podcast, and that's fine. I appreciate it. It's whatever. But for sure, do not believe that people are like avidly listening to podcasts, and they're like, but I have to listen to this one before I get into all my other ones. There's no way in hell, because I listen to fucking podcasts, and listening to me would drive me insane. Not because like it's not interesting, but dude, this guy just goes on and on and on. And you would be right, because I do. I go on and on and on. But that was really cool to see. And I'm looking forward to, it's a good thing that they do that, because, I plan on being here for a little bit. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that number is, or those numbers rather are, in a year from now. They're not important, and I'm not even sure if they're fully accurate. I don't believe they are, because from like my personal Spotify music, I feel like a lot of the shit that was on there was, if an album came out in March and I really wanted to like dive into it and see how I felt about it, and I listened to it a few times, they were like, well, that's going on as Wrapped. He loves this. And it's like, they're not really my top band, so not really my top rapper. It's just I'm really trying to dive into it. But one of the things it got right was Jeff Rosenstock for sure. And most of that's my son. He loves that dude. Like, he won't let me go in the car without listening to him. And then I forget the rest, to be honest. Trip Shelton was on there, and Trip is somebody who, I mentioned him earlier in regards to that tweet and what he said. But I was listening to, so Jan's Boy is one that I've talked about, that I've had at like album of the year. I meant that, not even just saying that because he's somebody that like I, interact with pretty regularly on social media, but it's just like a really good album front to back. And then somebody he's from DMI, and Wes, who's another rapper, I believe. I'm saying that because I don't really know Ray. It's just like a mutual thing. But I know he co-hosts a podcast called MCTV, and they did a full breakdown of Jan's Boy, and I was listening to that today because I noticed his name, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out how I know you, because he started following me, and I was like, oh, MCTV, I saw your episode with Tripp, and he said, yeah. And then he said, if you like that, check this if you haven't. And he did like a full breakdown of Jan's Boy, and I'm like on track 11, I think. I forget how many tracks are on it, but like they literally go song by song, and Tripp breaks down like, what's embellishment, what's real, all that stuff. So it was pretty cool to like get a full breakdown, because he's a really good storyteller. And like while you're listening to it, I know I talked about it before, but while you're listening to it, you can kind of piece together what he's talking about. So it's interesting to hear his breakdown and what you already perceived it as is like what your perspective was, and see what matches up and where you were wrong, what was real, what was embellishment. And it's the same thing in like comedy, right? Because you go on stage and the major details are what matters. The minor details don't. Like the joke about my grandmother, for example, is probably one of my favorite ones. And it's like, yes, my grandmother passed away. Yes, the men in my family are full of assholes. No, necessarily did I didn't actually tell my cousin he's gonna go to hell at 8 years old. Like that didn't happen. But you can create, you just need a piece of it to put it all together. Like the conversation may have happened or it's something that I thought about. I just needed to put it together. We were at a restaurant. We were at Chili's when it happened. We weren't at Chili's. We were just at a restaurant. But I need a fucking location. Just say Chili's. It's the same exact shit in music. As a storytelling, musician or rapper, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to figure out the major details and the minor details will follow. And with rap, I feel like that's not really as easy because you have to, well, you don't have to, but if you're attempting to rhyme, you really need to make sure like, all right, we were drinking a soda, but soda don't rhyme with cop. I got to say pop, like just something stupid like that. You know what I mean? So it was interesting to hear that process. I'm always big. Anytime I have a musician or anybody on here, one of the first things I ask is their writing style and how they do it. So I love listening to shit like that. It was really cool to just dive into it. And the Spotify Wrapped brought up that album and songs off it that were on repeat and whatnot. So also Grand Street was on there. And Grand Street, I had Vinny Jagger on a while back. So it was cool to see that him and those guys made the Spotify Wrapped as a top artist. I'm not really surprised, but it was just cool to see it. But yeah, other than that, I just wanted to put out something. I have a guest lined up. I don't have a day for this guest. He's somebody I met on Reddit, just like a couple people I had on here. He is an author. So just a little backstory. I just want to pull it up so I can be a little bit more accurate. So he put on, there's like a Reddit thread where people are looking for, podcasts to be on, especially if they have something to promote. And he had a book that he doesn't like to call a self-help book. So I was like, okay, let me see what you're all about. And I did like the preview thing because it's on Amazon and I have the Kindle app. So I just did like preview. I did a 3-minute read and I was like, this is actually pretty interesting. So I reached out to him. I said, I want to make sure I'm reading the right book first. He says, yes, that's it. And then he said, I would love to be a guest. I said, all right, cool. We'll figure something out. So we're trying to now match up. I think he's in Canada. So we have to match up our times and match up everything else. So we're going to do that, but it'll be cool to have. I know that, Sierra Nova, those guys don't like to be, comic book writers don't like to be referred to as authors, but it'll be nice to have like an actual, somebody who has a book written and published and have them on here. And I want to see what their writing process is like too, because I feel like they probably go through those same creative things. Tripp was saying for one of his songs, it took like a 4 to 6 months or something like that for him to like pick it right back up because he started talking about his grandfather and like there's an emotional toll to that. So I wonder if like when you're writing a book like this where it's not self-help, but it's in that category, it's like, do you have to tap into something emotionally and stuff like that? So I'm looking forward to asking those questions. If you guys have questions for an author, send them over. Like I said, it's kind of self-helpy, but doesn't like to call it a self-help book. Kind of asks like these questions up front and yada, yada, yada. It's stuff that I'm to further, but he'll be on here soon, hopefully, within the next few episodes. And hopefully you guys will be seeing this background stuff and no couch here and whatnot will be different very soon. My wife and I are going to be working on some things. So moving the house around and things should be on the up and up. And then once that happens, we'll probably be able to, once that happens, we'll be able to really expand and like figure out guests and whatnot, because I mean, this is tough right now. It's not easy for me to come on here with guests. I got to kick my wife and son into the other room or, tell them to get the hell out of this house and don't come back till I say so. And I'm in the middle of the living room, like a dog here, a fucking elderly dog in there. You'll hear yakking up a lung soon. There's no real like space to maneuver, so it's hard. And then, if I have a guest, Drill Sergeant E, for example, he was in Hawaii. He's on Hawaii time. So like the time difference, I don't remember, but it's not easy. So at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I'm here in my living room. My son's sleeping over there, and I got to make sure like I'm not screaming, and I like to be loud. And so that's another thing with getting these guests. I know I harp on like, oh, I don't like doing the solo episodes. And that's not true. I do enjoy it. I just think it's more enjoyable to listen to a conversation and actually feel like you got something out of it. When you're listening to me solo, you're probably not getting anything out of it. You're probably getting just stories, recaps of what's going on, and stuff like that. So I want to give people more to like look forward to and whatnot. We were streaming for a little bit this week. We did some Jackbox streams, which are pretty fun. For those not familiar, they're just games you play right on your phone. You just watch the TV, watch the stream, and play along with us. Those are a lot of fun. We had a bunch of randoms from stream pop in, and a lot of viewers, comparatively speaking, to other streams. So those were really fun. And again, you get something out of those because it's entertainment there. You're watching us play something, you're playing along. I like doing those streams more than just like a basic COD stream and whatnot, because you're joining in, you're part of it. Of course, you could always join COD with us, but you may not have the fucking game. Everybody has a cell phone. It's free. It's not an app. You go right to the website. So if you ever want to pop in those, jackbox.tv, go to Pinchworm Gaming Pinchworm Gaming on YouTube, subscribe, see when we're live, turn notifications on, pop in, play with us. It's a lot of fun. Other than that, I got nothing. Hopefully we'll have that guest in the next few weeks. And until next time.